We got a World War III situation literally happening right in front of our eyes. You know, two countries firing missiles at each other, and now we got Pusha T literally sending shots at Travis Scott in a crazy new diss track that's honestly pretty fire on his new single for Clipse, man. It's honestly something that no one would expect it at like 9 a.m. in the morning, bruh. But we gotta get into all of this because at first people were saying that it was primarily a Ye diss track. But then now it turns out after you read the lyrics and everything that he says in this song, it looks like this whole song might be dedicated to Travis Scott basically losing his bitch at the hands of a twink star, Timothée Chalamet, man. Who would have really even thought this was in the cards? And not only did he just do that, but he aired out Travis Scott in a crazy new GQ interview. We're gonna get into right now, man. We're gonna tap into all of this because we're gonna get the explanation for why Pusha T dissed Travis Scott right now and a reaction to the new Clipse song, So Be It. But before we get into it, man, I'm gonna need you to do something for me. Like, comment, subscribe. We finna run on this video. Make sure y'all check out the merch link in the description. We just dropped new shit. Hit that notification bell so whenever I post, y'all tune in right away. And man, join a membership. Get your merch discounted. If you wanna get your song or product featured on this channel, man, tap in and go be a member. We gonna run this shit up, so in case you're not an old head or a cocaine dealer, you might have missed the fact that Clipse was supposed to drop an album and it's coming very, very, very soon. So they just dropped a single for the project So Be It today to surprise diss on Travis Scott. And at the same time, they had an interview for press from GQ where Pusha T basically explains the reason before it. So first, we gotta get into the actual song because the song is very, very descriptive. And at first, when I first heard this, I thought it was dissing both Travis and Ye. But it seems like, I don't even think he's dissing Ye at all. I feel like he might just look at Ye as just like a crash out or something like that. But it looks like he's definitely coming for Travis. So I'm gonna need you to run that song. I'm gonna run this song too, but I can't play it on YouTube obviously because of copyrights and shit like that. I'm trying to get paid out of this video, nigga. But run that and then we gonna get back to you with what exactly is said in the lyric. Off rip, when I was born, grandma could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking with P, get something immediate. So off rip, he's talking about messing with Pharrell. You're gonna have some shots your way. You're gonna have some activity. And it seems like no holds were barred in this actual song. The crazy part of the song actually starts in verse 4. Bro literally starts it off. It seems like the whole rest of the song was a build-up. They basically, at first, are basically describing that they'll slide for Pharrell, and Pharrell is their day one. In Malice's verse, they say, ain't no more Neptune, so peace, Saturn. And like I said previously, they were basically talking about anyone say anything about Pharrell, then they're gonna slide. So that's 100%. But as I said, it starts in verse 4. The chorus, Pusha T says, smoke, so be it. Smoke, so be it. Off rip, that's a crash out mentality. He's basically saying he don't really care whether or not what happens. At the end of the day, he's gonna say what he has to be said. He says, you cried in front of me, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Heard Utopia had moved right up the street and her lip gloss was popping, she ain't need you to eat. Then the net gon' call it the way they see it. But I got the video, I can share and AE it. They wouldn't believe it, but I can't unsee it. Lucky I ain't TMZ it, so be it, so be it. So let's honestly look at what they say on Genius, what this is about, and this is exactly what I'm actually talking about. Pusha T references Utopia, Travis Scott's fourth studio album, using it as a metonym representing Travis. He then alludes to a woman with lip gloss venture performing well enough not to need Travis's money to live or eat. This is likely a reference to Travis Scott's ex-girlfriend, Kylie Jenner. So in that line, he's basically saying Calabasas, like the life and everything in that sphere of world, that utopia, because Calabasas is a utopia. If you've ever been there, it's all gated neighborhoods and all like scenic hills and shit like that, but that don't mean a lot of weird shit goes on over there. And he's basically saying that his girl got taken from him in this utopia that was supposed to be created when he got up there. And you're gonna find out more why I came to that conclusion, but you're gonna see. And in the Genius description, it says, this is likely a reference to Travis Scott's ex-girlfriend, Kylie Jenner, who owns Kylie Cosmetics, a makeup brand. Earlier, Pusha recalls a moment of vulnerability between him and Travis, where Travis broke down, revealing his disdain for the high society lifestyle of Calabasas, California, particularly around figures such as the Kardashian-Jenner family. He's associated with them through his relationship with Kylie Jenner, whom he shares a child. This is what I'm talking about. It's about the utopia feeling that he probably had while getting to that point and then changing who he was, you know, trying to be like, in Pusha T's words, which we're gonna get into in the actual interview, a monkey to these people to basically try to like fit in, but in reality, he's never actually gonna fit in because they don't see him as the same type of value as like everyone else there. That's what I sort of got from that. And my whole question is, why Pusha T like is coming at Travis all of a sudden now? Travis must have did something that was wrong to him in the first place. Or maybe it was him still like being cool with gay. It could have been something like that. But obviously we're gonna get into like further why he said this in the GQ magazine interview. But as we see in this song, it sounds like Pusha T basically has a video of Travis Scott crying, losing Kylie Jenner. And this actually opens up a lot of the world that we didn't know about Travis Scott, because for the longest we thought that it was like an amicable relationship, like this was some cool shit, like he didn't really care, he was off getting bitches, he was off doing his other thing. But no, we see a vulnerable side of bro, and it all kind of makes sense because back in Coachella, I don't know if y'all remember, but Travis Scott had a performance, and in the first weekend Kylie Jenner was there with Timothée Chalamet. Basically, people thought that they were gonna stay, but she ended up leaving early with Timothée Chalamet, and no one really thought anything of it. And then he started singing a lot of the songs that had to do with her. And I don't know if he knew that she wasn't there or anything like that, but it seemed like bro was trying to serenade, trying to get her back or something like that. Well, fast forward now and we get a different perspective of this, and we're seeing that Travis Scott isn't just a cool, calm, collected dude right here. He basically lost his girl. Not only just a regular girl, like this is like damn near, I'm guessing maybe he was supposed to have like a wife type relationship with her because he has 2 kids with her. They broke up and then went back and stuff like that. And this all happened and unfolded in front of him. And it's crazy to know that Pusha T, in your most vulnerable moments, is going to film a video and have it just on deck, just in case if he ever needs to, just to have something strategic against you. That's a real evil man right there. That's someone I would never want to cross in any type of scenario, bro. That's like it's like the show The Boys, you know, like how they always have compromising information on their enemies, bro. Pusha T really out here trying to take legends down. Is it a clout chase? In my opinion, yes. It's kind of like the JPEG Mafia shit. But the JPEG Mafia shit that we talked about in the previous video where he disses a whole bunch of people, he didn't really have anything on anyone. He was just kind of wilding. And this, he has an actual video that he could have sent to TMZ of Travis Scott crying over her, which is honestly some real crazy shit. But in order to get more context on this whole situation, we got to get back into the GQ interview because he actually explains, it has some pretty harsh words for Travis Scott. Basically says Travis Scott is a monkey and a whore. So we're gonna get into it in chapter 2. So bro really got straight to the point. Honestly, this is a crazy legendary way to roll out your album. Literally having a title saying Pusha T explains why he has words for Travis Scott. That's the whole article. So when Clipse dropped Ace Trumpets, their first official single in over 15 years, to rapturous applause across the internet, Pusha T was hardly all smiles as the acclaim rolled in. Instead, on Instagram, he wrote an ominous comment: "I hate every last one of you bitches." Bruh, like off real, imagine saying that out. You really got some words to say with someone if you saying that after your first single in 15 years. The Thornton brothers have set their intentions from the jump with an album title that promises let God sort them out. Ostensibly, they'll be killing all the competition by putting their bid in for Rap Album of the Year. But across the project due July 11th, Pusha's also out to settle all outstanding business, like Michael Corleone The Godfather Climax, an attitude he upheld during our conversation with his and Malice's GQ Hype feature when I hinted at Push taking some unexpected shots at new music. Yes, on the thunderous chains and whips Jim Jones gets a whole verse for that run of interviews where he repeatedly disparaged Pusha's legacy. But while Push said he has no interest in taking Drake's attempts to bait him back into the ring seriously, I can't pay attention to none of that. I did the dance for real, not to come back and tiptoe around anything again. I mean, obviously, bro literally wiped this. Bro fired a nuke at this nigga Drake, bro had Drake out here exposing himself. I didn't hide my kid from the world. I hid the world from my kid. You know, bargaining and pleading to all the OVO stands and shit like that. But in reality, we know it's good. Drake is on, like, he's still a big artist, but when it comes to battle rapping, like, that nigga on life support right now. He don't need to go back to him. Another rapper in the orbit of Drake's recent subliminals does get a heat check from Push on the album, Travis Scott. So, does get heat from the new album, and that's Travis Scott. I wouldn't call this a heat check, because this is pretty bad. Like, Travis gonna have to hire all his writers. He's gonna have to get Tory Lanez out of jail. He's gonna have to tap in to his original self. I don't even know how he's gonna respond to this. I never even knew that Travis Scott could even be a battle rapper. Chances are he's probably not gonna respond to this, but maybe he will. On So Be It, Push and Malice kicked their usual upper echelon stunted over a sinister Pharrell beat, but things get smoky when Pusha closes the song out with the final verse that made me do a double take on the first listen, and it made me do a double take on the first listen too, which Push never calls out Travis by name directly, pointing to references to Utopia and an ex whose lip gloss is popping. I didn't get that reference, the lip gloss, because she's selling lip kits and shit like that. Pretty much erase any doubt about who he's talking to. The verse is short, but no less scathing than any of Pusha's similar instances of letting a fellow rapper know what he really thinks of them. Alluding to witnessing Travis Scott losing his pride and conspicuously mentioning Alexander A.E. Edwards, best friend and right-hand man to Kylie's ex, Tyga. I don't know what Alexander Edwards has anything to do with this. Now that the song is out for the masses to hear, I can share the portion of my conversation with Push at which he shed light on the issue with Travis and gave context as to why he felt compelled to write those bars. When I asked Push why he went in like that, he cited Travis's 2023 song Meltdown. Take all your chins with the heritage shit. You know what Drake is talking about. Which came up earlier in our discussion of recent shots and taunts Drake's have been throwing. The song's title from Drake's declaring, and a guest verse, that he'd melt down the chains that I bought from your boss, give a fuck about all that heritage shit. A reference to the classic peak Neptune's era jewelry that Drake bought off Pharrell's Jupiter auction site. Honestly, that was a whole crazy situation because in that scenario, Drake is making it seem like he stole those chains off their neck or something like that. Like they're on some like QC beef with Chief Keef era shit when he went out of his way and bought the stuff that Pharrell was selling. Still be flexing it like it's a greasy neck tour when it's a clean neck tour. Travis is in Switzerland on that song, but the fact that Utopia features production and vocals from Pharrell elsewhere in the album, and that Travis made a show of teasing the album by filming himself playing it with Pharrell, it didn't sit right for Push, who reveals he was also there that day. The true context of that is we were in Paris literally working, and he's calling to play P, his new album. He came to Pharrell's studio at Louis Vuitton HQ, where Clipse recorded most of Let God Sort Him Out. He interrupted a session, Pusha recalled. He sees me and Malice here. He's like, oh man, everybody's here. He's smiling, laughing, jumping around, doing his fucking monkey dance. Bro, he called him a monkey is crazy. We weren't into the music, but he wanted to play it. Wanted to film us and Pharrell listening to it. And then a week later, you hear Meltdown, which he didn't play. He played the song, but not Drake's verse. Pusha was quick to add that he doesn't hold Travis to any standard because he sees it. Travis has a pattern of remaining conventionally neutral when it suits him, and that's something that I have noticed, especially over this Drake-Kendrick beef. You know, there's splits, there's EXO, Kendrick, all those people. Then you got, oh yeah, also Cardi on this side too. Then you got Drake, Party Next Door. I can't even think of anyone else that's really on the other side, Canadian niggas. But basically, in between this, Travis Scott has been straddling both sides because he worked with Future and Metro Boomin, and he worked with Playboi Carti heavily, but Drake does not fuck with them at all. At the same time, he's still showing love to Drake and was seen with Drake recently. But at the same time, like for instance, why is it a big deal that he's neutral? You see Playboi Carti, he's another person that isn't entirely involved, but he basically marked on where he was by having Kendrick on his album multiple times over, basically saying he doesn't fuck with Drake. Cause you wouldn't work with Kendrick and have him that much on the album and have him throwing like subliminals and stuff like that and having just multiple opportunities like that. Like he's not probably gonna work with Drake for a very long time. And he hasn't really worked with Drake in general. Like they had that one song and then we never saw anything else. When Cardi, like when he works with people, he does multiple songs with people. Like he has multiple Travis songs, multiple Kendrick songs. Why would he not have a Drake song? It's because he's on this side. He's not trying to straddle the fence. You know clearly where he is. Meanwhile, Travis is always super neutral. And I mean, at the same time, you can't really be mad at a nigga for being neutral in something that doesn't really involve him. But being neutral and then having someone be on a diss track and naming the actual song about a diss track is crazy. But I have his kind of side of the story and what people have said, so I'm gonna explain that shit in a second. But let's keep going with this interview. He's done it a lot. He has no picks. He'll do it with anybody. He did it with Sicko Mode, in which Drake seems to diss Kanye, despite Travis's close tie to him. Push then referenced last spring when Travis joined Future and Metro on stage and excitedly asked him to tease like that.
Nah, Metro, you gotta let that shit go right now, bro.
Never selling dope, is you like that?
Man, I need that dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Man, that motherfucker, I'm trying to...
Okay. Go put your mask on first.
Hey, Metro.
Yeah.
I need you to get out there with Pluto one time, man. We gotta make this a movie, you know what I'm saying? This that one. This the one. This the home run. Hold on.
You on the album right now, nigga?
Oh, they gotta wait. Everybody gotta wait on that one. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody gotta wait on that one. Everybody gotta wait on that one. Yeah.
It's just a few days.
We're gonna take our mask off one time. We gotta go there with Super.
And excitedly asked him to tease like that. The song whose incendiary Kendrick Lamar verse ignited the whole Kendrick and Drake beat. He was on Rolling Loud stage like, play that. He had no picks, no loyalty to nobody. He'll jump around whatever he feels is hot or cling on to whatever he feels is hot. But you can play those games with people. We're not in your mix. Keep your mix over there. Okay, that's another thing that I totally forgot. He was the one that was trying to get Metro and Future to drop like that. Maybe he didn't know what it was, but Kendrick was pretty clear in like that. Or maybe they didn't have the Kendrick feature on there, but I'm pretty sure at that time that they kind of like knew. But we'll give him the benefit. Nah, we shouldn't even give him the benefit of the doubt, but for all intents and purposes, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It's the later part that aggravated Pusha enough to the point of having this issue to wax. I personally have been removed from that crew and those people for a minute. Push it in a reference to the larger Kanye Good Music extended orbit. So that's where my issue comes in. Like, dog, don't even come over here with that. Because at the end of the day, I don't play how y'all play it. To me, that really was like, he's a whore. He's a whore. Print can't do justice to the disdain of Push's delivery here. He's a whore. Nigga sound like a pirate or some shit. I've already dealt with this lack of loyalty to his mentor, the guy he looks up to, Push said, referring to Kanye. But you know, Kanye a little crazy. I've been dealing with this corny shit that goes along with them. So it's like, I'm in a whole nother place. Don't bring that over here. Don't bring that over to my house. I just wanted you to have true context, man. And honestly, Frazier, you got to realize I've really been in Paris. I've really been making my joints. I've really been doing my shit. It was this moment that Pusha got most fired up, seemingly intent on disproving the perception that he's a bully or he's engaging for attention or shock value. When these people mention me, they're really going out of their way. What have I done besides wear clothes, bro? In the past couple of years, it's like people are going out of their way. Somebody brought Meltdown to my house, to P's house actually. I mean, I don't give a fuck. P don't give a damn. But it's like, it's a principle. It's a principle of it, Pusha says impassioned. It's a principle of what I'm saying. That filthy quality that they have about themselves. The lack of loyalty. Travis really has that. He's proven. I just named 3 people that he does that type of behavior with. I'm just not one of them, dog. I ain't that. That shit ain't coming out of nowhere. Bro, I be cool with all these guys. Everybody you mentioned today, bro. I promise you. They did the underhanded weird shit. Pretty much in that interview, he leaves no imagination for anyone to understand where he's coming from. He basically clearly states what exactly went wrong and basically says that Travis is doing too much playing both sides. And I never even thought about the fact that he was cool with Drake. I was thinking about that when it happened, but at this moment, I just never thought about the fact that he was cool with Drake after literally being on stage with Future and Metro Boomin, trying to get them to drop like that and show it to the crowd at Rolling Loud, man. Honestly, that just shows that he just doesn't even care. He has no real morals, and maybe that's why he lost Kylie to Timothée Chalamet or something like that. And it seems like bro is really hurt about that, and it's probably always a constant reminder because you have kids. But at the end of the day, it seemed like his relationship was probably the best in the Kardashian world. Like, it didn't make him go crazy. Like, yay, it wasn't really out there in the public like that. Like, bro was keeping to himself. And this is like a real hit. Like, I honestly think that this is probably the worst thing that has happened to Travis Scott's career since Astroworld, because it takes away that aura that bro had of just being carefree and chilling. You know, this could not really affect him in the way that the Drake stuff happened, but it could definitely affect him in the way that people look at him. Now they look at him like losing his self-respect over a Kardashian that just, at guess, just was tired of how he be, man. I mean, if he does that to like the people that are closest to him and they're all kind of like that, especially having like Drake on a song dissing Ye, crept down the block, made it right. That song, then I could only imagine. And honestly, Meltdown, I feel like that song sucks anyways. Like, that is not like a peak Travis Scott song. So, you know, the Astroworld feature basically with Drake, and then the Meltdown feature with Drake again, and then trying to be on like that and collabing with Metro Boomin and Future. Like, bruh is definitely on some weird shit, but calling him a monkey is kind of crazy. And people have come to the whole like discussion saying that the Meltdown feature could have just been later, but I mean, it could have been. Apparently, the SZA feature and the Drake feature were the last two features actually on there. So maybe he wasn't able to get Drake in time for them to actually see it. But then why name it Meltdown when he's talking about melting down Pharrell's chains? And Pharrell doesn't care, but obviously Pusha T cares. So that's where it leaves us, man. But hey, let me know in the comments what y'all think about all this shit, man. Stay safe, world shit. You already know what's going on. Like, comment, subscribe.